Extreme profitable trading isn't just about numbers, about lines, about points of interest that we pick out on our charts on a daily basis. It is at a deeper level how we can manage our inner state, understanding ourselves, understanding our responses when we are placed under pressure. So if you have been trading or you're still new to trading is going to be putting you under a lot of pressure, and your ability to manage yourself during these periods will determine how well you can perform on your strategy, how well you can execute on your strategy. Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of our weekly lectures on trading psychology, mindset, and emotional regulation. And today we are going to be talking about a topic that is less spoken about, and I'm going to be doing my best to explain to us how this attribute, if we cultivate it in ourselves, it can lead or it can improve our trading performance. And this topic is going to be on building a self-soothing nature of a caregiver in trading. A caregiver is somebody who takes care of people, right? So maybe you have a home where we have the elderly, we have people who are sick, and so somebody like a nurse is a caregiver, a doctor is a caregiver, a mother is a caregiver, parents are caregivers. So it is this aspect that we want to develop in trading. And we are not developing this aspect because we want to use it to take care of somebody else, but we are developing this aspect because we are going to be needing it in taking care of our own self. So when you place your trade, when you're trading, most likely you're going to be alone. Nobody is going to be there, and nobody is going to be there after you take a loss or maybe you make a mistake. Nobody is going to be there to be telling you, oh, please don't feel bad, be courageous, it is just one trade, another opportunity will come, all those things. All right, nobody is going to be there to tell you all these things. And so you are going to be the one to be able to self-soothe yourself. All right, so in the world of trading, numbers they dominate, charts, candle, profits, losses. But beneath those numbers lies something deeper, and that is the trader's emotional stability. To strive in the market, a trader must become both a strategist and a caregiver. You must have a good technical method, and you must have a good emotional resilience or emotional balance or emotional mastery. And being a caregiver is one of the aspects. Someone who understands, nurtures, and manages their inner emotional states, especially when exposed to pressure. All right. So, so this is where the attribute or the quality of a caregiver comes into trading. So when you take a loss in the market, normally you're going to feel all types of emotions. You're going to feel anger, you're going to feel frustration, you're going to feel a lot of things. Even when you win, you're still going to feel a lot of emotions. You're still going to get a lot of emotions coming up. All right. And so it is essential for us to be able to spot or to get or to be able to identify the emotion that is coming up at each point in time. And when you name that emotion and you understand that this is fear coming up, you can begin to question why that fear is coming up. So mostly our human minds have been built for survival and survival in the short run. So what a mind is always going to do is it always tries to keep you out of danger in the short run, making sure that your survival is guaranteed. What are you going to eat today? What are you going to eat tomorrow? Those are the things that the mind will always try to help you with. How good it is keeping you out of danger, how good it is keeping you out of risks, how good it is keeping you out of uncertainty. But the reality is that the opposite of it is needed in trading. You need to be able to face losses. You need to be able to face uncertainty. You need to be able to face all those challenges that come up with trading. And so we have a mind that has been naturally built to work, to function against risk, uncertainty, and all of these things that we find in trading, right? So you see where the big problem in trading comes from. So when you take a loss, nobody is going to be there to tell you that, oh, another opportunity is going to come, but you're going to be the one to be able to suit yourself, to tell yourself that, oh, this is just one trade, another trade will be coming up. It is just a probability. On our next trade we could fall on the right side of probability. So this is your ability to self suit yourself, or else you're going to flare up when that frustration comes up, right? So when frustration comes up, when anger comes up, it is your ability to self-soothe yourself that begins to calm down those emotions. And when you leave those emotions unchecked, it has a very catastrophic outcome on our trading accounts. All right. So uh trading is not just about strategies like we have been saying. It is also about our psychology. It is like a war zone, all right, where emotions are coming up, faced by different scenarios, faced by fear, faced by greed, faced by uncertainty, faced by all these situations in trading. Your emotions are coming up to fight those things. And so trading becomes like an emotional battlefield. So every trade triggers an emotion. It is either excitement, it is either fear, it is either greed, or either euphoria. And when these emotions are triggered, there needs to be something that is able to handle whatever emotion is coming up. If there is no consciousness behind every emotion that is coming up, then we begin to act impulsively out of emotions, chasing trades. When you miss a trade, you start feeling like, oh, I've missed that trade, I've missed the opportunity. Then you start chasing the trade. And then when you lose in the market, you don't want to accept that loss, because to your mind or to your emotion, that is a that is uh, that is like -1 to your ability to exist as a human being. So since we have tied money to our worth as human beings, when we lose money, when we lose these things, it feels as if we are losing our own self-worth. So that is why detaching your self-worth from the outcomes of your trade is a very important part of every trader's journey. So without emotional regulation, even the best strategy collapses. Like a caregiver calming a distressed child, a trader must learn to calm their own inner turbulence when the market becomes so volatile. So a losing trade might feel like rejection. Instead of it just being a losing trade, it might feels like rejection, right? A winning trade can also create overconfidence. The uncertainty of the next trade can breed uncertainty. So you see that at every point in time, we have emotions, even without you placing a trade. Even before you place a trade, right, we can still have these emotions. So there are emotions that will come up before trading, during trading, and even after trading. And you must be able to manage yourself throughout these turbulences. So a trader's journey is not a journey that comes to an end. It is a journey that you embark and you embrace for the rest of your life. So as long as you're living, as long as you're trading the market, you're always going to be a trader. All right. So uh we're saying that a self-suiting trader recognizes this emotion but doesn't react impulsively to them. Instead, they observe, they breathe, and they respond with clarity. So, a self suiting trader is not someone who has no emotions. It is someone who is aware of the emotions and is aware of whatever emotion is coming up at different times, right? That is somebody that is a caregiver. Our emotions are never going to be absent. We are going to have our emotions coming up over and over and over and over. But now it is our ability to recognize these emotions when they come up and to respond accordingly that we are able to navigate the market with a lot of certainty and with a calm mind, right? So trading is an emotional battlefield. So we have emotions arising at every point in time. And when these emotions arise, it can easily lead to losing trades out of frustration. And when a winning trade comes up, what happens is that you become too confident. And when the market is uncertain, when you are in a trade or even before placing a trade and you don't know if the trade is going to be a winning trade or a losing trade, anxiety could step in very very quickly. And when anxiety steps in, you are going to find yourself hesitating to take your setup even when your confirmation has been given. So these are the emotions, or this is a scenario that happens within every trader. And most of us, we are going to find ourselves with a very good methodology, a very good technical analysis. You have a good system. You have learned all types of system. But when it comes to executing that strategy, there is still a problem. And so you're asking yourself that, but what is happening? I know all these things. I can identify my fair value gaps. I can draw my trend lines. I can do all these things. But why is it that I can't still, excuse me, still be profitable in trading? It is because of our underlying emotions that are there trying to protect us when we are trying to make money, right? So it's like, what can I say? What example can I use? Mm, what example can we use? Like you're trying to protect somebody, but that person is silently killing you without you knowing. It's like our emotions are backstabbing us, all right? And it is a natural process. And note you that without our emotions, we would have not survived as human beings right up to where we are today, because our emotions have helped us in our evolution. They have helped us to keep us out of danger and have helped us in our survival as human beings a lot. So imagine when our ancestors were still living out in the fields, having to face a lot of danger, whether it comes to weather, snakes, animals attacking them. So they needed to live on constant alert. So the mind has not yet evolved into the recent century where we don't have all those things coming in, right? So our ancient mind is still responding to all these scenarios of in trading, fear of losing, uncertainty, risks. It is still reacting to it as it used to react in the ancient days. So when you were faced with a buffalo, what your mind will do is it triggers into fight, flight, or freeze. And when you are in front of that buffalo, it is either your mind will tell you to run, to attack, or to just totally freeze. And these are the same scenarios that we find ourselves in trading. All right. So we have evolved as human beings, but our ancestral mind has not yet caught up with this reality. So that is why we have these emotions fighting us in our trading. We are trying to make money, it is trying to protect us from danger, but not knowing that it is keeping us from actually making the money. So, what does it actually mean to be a caregiver in trading? A caregiver is somebody who nurtures, right? Somebody who nurtures, who protects, who heals. And in trading, being a caregiver to yourself will mean that you are able to show compassion to yourself, especially when you lose, when you make a mistake, all right? And also offering patience when your setups they delay. You don't know when the market is going to get into a stupid consolidation. So just before price gets into your point of interest, maybe your trend line, your support resistance, your fair value gap, your other block, or whatever method of analysis or strategy that you're using, before it gets into your point of interest, it begins to consolidate, and it could consolidate there for as long as who knows. All right. So during these periods in time, it is very, very easy for you to get frustrated out of impatient, and you start looking for setups that do not exist. And so offering patience when your setups delay, that is what it means to be a caregiver in trading, providing uh, uh, encouragement instead of criticism when you make mistakes. Now, there is always this little voice inside each and every one of us that will always like to criticize us, likes to tell us how small we are, how inadequate we are, how it like a small negative voice inside everyone's head. And most often we always choose either we listen to the negative voice or we listen to the positive voice. And the positive voice is always very quiet. It is like if you've watched Tom and Jerry, there is always this devil figure that usually appears on Tom's shoulder, right? There is a devil Tom to the left, there is an angel Tom to the right. So it is just like that, the negative and the positive, the yin and the yang. So we have these two voices, the black sheep and the white sheep. These voices have been called by different names. And so the silent voice is usually the small positive voice, and the loud one is usually the negative voice. And usually, when you make a mistake, it is going to be telling you, castigating you, telling you a lot of things, uh, beating you to get into a trade. And that calm, steady mind is going to be telling you very quietly at the back of your mind, don't do it. But the one that is so, so loud at the end of the day always mostly gets the best of us. So instead of you experiencing criticism or providing or encouraging that negative voice to criticize you when you make a mistake. By being able to care, to give, to self-soothe yourself, to give yourself that care, you provide encouragement to yourself in that situation instead of criticizing yourself. So I make a mistake while trading. Instead of blaming myself or blaming the market or blaming your internet connection, you try to learn why the mistake came up. Then you accept the mistake as part of the process. It is when you stand in denial that you begin to resist, and resistance always leads to you experiencing more of what you resist. So what you resist persists in everything that you do in life, right? What you resist is going to persist. So once you're trying to fight against your emotions, know that you are going to be creating more and more give or you're going to be giving your emotions more and more power. So the goal is not for us to fight our emotions, but it is for us to understand our emotions and to work with our emotions. So creating safety through risk management and discipline. So we can uh, create or we can play both trader and caregiver, right? And we build emotional resilience, a mind that can withstand chaos and still make clear decisions. So this is what it means to be a caregiver in trading. You must be kind to yourself. You must be patient with yourself. You must be able to encourage yourself. You must be able to protect your mental health. And the result of this is going to be a resilient and a well emotionally balanced mind. All right. So, this is a must build attribute for every trader. Now, self-soothing is a very powerful tool, and self-soothing is the ability to regulate emotions during distress without external validation. So, it is your ability to recognize your emotion, and then you you accept the emotion, and you work with the emotion instead of trying to reject the emotions or trying to fight that emotion. So your ability to self-soothe is your ability to regulate your emotions under distress. So once you notice that I place this trade and I am feeling fearful, now you have recognized the emotion. You have identified and named the emotion, which is fear. Then you ask yourself, why is fear coming up in my trading at this moment? Then it could be because you never placed a stop loss. It could be because you over leveraged. It could be because you use a big lot size. It could be because you are not following your trading plan. All right. So when you feel that emotion, before you place that trade, when you feel those emotions coming up, then you pause. That 10-minute pause can save you from a lot of destructive trade. So fear is not coming up as an enemy in our trading, but it is coming up as guidance. Our emotions are not coming in to kill us. All right. So now you see that that shift occurs where instead of our emotions ruling over us, we are able to work with our emotions. And when we work with our emotions, we begin to better our performance and our results. So, the power of self soothing, all right, the power to comfort yourself or the power to comfort maybe another person. So, if you're in a trading community and somebody takes a loss in the market, what will you be telling that person? What will be your encouragement to that person? The same way in which you are going to, the same way that you are going to encourage that person, that is the same way that you have to encourage your own self. You need to be able to encourage yourself, and to stop yourself from acting out of emotions and out of impulse. So, breathing control, that pause before reacting, inhale clarity and exhale tension, right? So before you place a trade, you begin to feel that numbness on your fingers and you're sweating, your body is shaking. That is your body, that is your emotion calling you to look at your setup again, to look at your risk management, to check a few things before placing that trade. And so if everything checks out, you can place that trade knowing that, oh, that was just fear coming up. Maybe it is just our instinctual response to us getting into an unknown situation. Because placing a trade, you don't know if you're going to have a winning trade or a losing trade. So that is uncertainty to the mind. So affirmation, you could affirm to yourself, right? These are all parts of you regulating yourself. You could affirm to yourself, I am a calm trader. I'm in control. Every trade is a lesson. So you could be affirming to yourself throughout the day or during certain periods of the day when it comes to mind. You just do this little affirmation and you say, I am a calm trader. I am in control. Every trade is a lesson. You could affirm this before your trade. You could affirm this during your trade. And you could affirm this even after your trades. And you start training your mind to react calmly. So the mind can be trained. The mind that we are bringing into trading has been trained to function on the African savannah where there is risk, there is danger, where there is uncertainty. And so we need to train the mind to be able to function under these situations. All right. So affirmations are part of the training that we give to our minds. Now, we also have rituals like reviewing your journals, meditating, and stretching between sessions. All right. So, reviewing your journal is a very, very important thing. After you have taken your trades, always come back to it. Look at the trade, why you took the trade, how you maintain your emotional balance during that trade. You could also incorporate meditation, which is your ability to just bring your mind back to the present moment and to be in sync with the environment rather than letting those thoughts run wild in your mind. So, meditation can be a very, very good aspect of self soothing ourselves, shifting our perspective, seeing losses as data and not as personal failure. So, once your word as a trader is tied to your performance, right? Once your worth is tied to your performance, the tendency is that every loss is going to feel like the end of the world for you, and every win is going to feel as if you are on top of the world. Now, when you do this, it means that you're tied emotionally to outcome, and when you're tied emotionally to outcome, you're going to be responding on the next trade, or you're going to be responding emotionally. You're going to be focusing more on the process. You're going to be focusing more on outcome than you focus on process. And success in trading is built in the process or on the process that we bring into trading. So, a self soothing trader remains the same person after a loss, calm, reflective, and focused. All right. So when you shift your perspective and now you begin to see losses as data, as maybe just dues that you pay to the market, just as a cost of doing business, then your perspective will shift. Instead of you fearing losses, instead of you trying to avoid them, you're going to see them in a new light. And so that self-soothing trader is always going to remain calm, whether they win or they lose. Right? When once you're detached from the outcomes of your performance, right? You're going to be calm, whether you win or you lose. Now, emotional intelligence is one of the key factors that every trader must, I say, what every trader must do. Whether you're the best technical analyst in the world, if you're unable to control your own self, you are going to be a ticking time bomb. If you're unable to control your own self, then there is no way that you are going to become a profitable trader. And so trading is not actually a battle against the market, but it is a battle against our own self, our own fear, our own greed, our own frustration, our own anger, our own anxieties. So, a caregiver trader is emotionally intelligent. And if you are new to the channel, there are a lot of videos that we have done on emotional intelligence. So you could check out the videos and you are going to see what emotional intelligence is all about. And if this is your first time coming across our content, please make sure to like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to give us a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend this video to a lot of users. All right. So check out our videos on emotional intelligence. So an emotional intelligent trader understand that the goal is not to avoid emotions but to manage them. So you can never have freedom from emotions, but we can have freedom of emotions, meaning that we can never delete emotions out of our trading or out of our lives, but we can manage our emotions. So they know when to pause, when to trade, and when to walk away. So you should listen to this song by Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. I usually like to listen to that song because it somehow explains a lot about trading. All right. So professional traders will build a system that protects them from their impulsive self through journaling, through fixed position sizing, and through mental resets. So, your emotional discipline will determine your financial destiny. All right. So, if you're unable to manage yourself emotionally, to avoid impulsive reactions, to recognize, understand, and manage every emotion that comes up, and to build a system that keeps you from reacting impulsively and out of emotions, then you are going to have a very good trading system, very good technical methodology. But at the end of the day, you keep wondering why you cannot make money consistently in the market. So, building the self-soothing habit are not things that, or it is not something that is going to happen after you have listened to me today. It is not going to happen immediately. It is like us building a muscle. Emotional stability must be trained, and so you must start small and you start building this aspect into your own nature. Acknowledge your emotions, label them without judgment. So when an emotion comes up, acknowledge it as part of you. Acknowledge it as part of trading. Don't try to fight the fear. Don't try to fight the anger. Don't try to fight the frustration. Feel it and you label it without judging it. Then you respond slowly to it. Count to 10 before clicking on the buy or sell button. So this period of responding slowly is when you do a quick check of your trading plan and the underlying reason why, maybe fear, greed, emotion, or whatever emotion is coming up at that time. Okay. And then you need to celebrate your discipline, or how well you follow or you execute your process, rather than celebrating outcome. So when you celebrate outcome, you're training your mind to respond or to be focused on the outcome, or on winning and losing. And you cannot control winning and losing in trading. You can control the process, the discipline, the patience that you bring into trading. And so instead of celebrating wins or maybe crying over losses, celebrate the discipline and the process that you brought into the moment of execution. How well did I execute? Celebrate those things, celebrate the process and not the result. All right, these are the self-soothing habits that we must build, and each trading day, and you end each trading day with gratitude. You showed up, you learned, and you improved. And so you are not the same person that embarked on that day. So over time, this habit rewires your nervous system to stay composed during high stress situation. And this is a true mark of a profitable or a professional trader. Your ability to stay calm even when there is pressure and there is fire all around you. All right. So each day when you end your trading, be grateful. Whether you won, whether you lost, whether you made money, whether you did not make money, be grateful. Gratitude, they say, is the door that opens to more, right? So when you're grateful for the little things that you have, then you're opening up doors for more things to come into your life. So be grateful for the outcomes of your trade, be it the winning trade, be it the losing trade. And so being able to maintain a calm mind under pressure is the ultimate edge of every trader, is an attribute, is something that every trader must develop. This is not going to take you just a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It is going to take you time. And so you must start small and you must give yourself adequate time to learn and to grow and to experience. If you have not checked out our video or our lecture on maintaining a calm mind under pressure, then you can do that. You can go to the playlist section and you're going to see a playlist on trading psychology. There you are going to find that video, and go through that video, and it is going to be explaining a lot on why you should maintain a calm mind under trading or in trading, and why a calm mind is necessary for every trader. So the market rewards not the smartest people, but the calmest people. It is not about how intelligent you are or how well you performed in other activities in life that you think that when you come into trading, you're going to perform in the same way. The market does not reward how smart you are, but it rewards how calm you are. So when you master self-soothing, you turn chaos into clarity and pressure into focus. That is what a calm mind does to you. So you stop chasing trades and you start attracting opportunities through patience, presence, and purpose. All right. So that is what a calm mind does to you. The caregiver's mindset will transform your trading from an emotional roller coaster, which is what most traders are going through, right? So they are happy today, sad tomorrow, happy this week, sad the next week, happy the next month, sad the next month, happy at the beginning of the year, sad the rest of the year. All right. into a journey of self mastery. So the success formula is a calm mind plus consistent process is going to produce a profitable trader. So this all has to do with process. And that is why I always reiterate all or every time that trading success is all about the mindset and the process that we bring into the moment of performance. So building a building Building a self-soothing nature as a caregiver in trading is not a luxury, my friends. It is a necessity in every trader's journey. Every tick of the market will test your inner peace. When a thing ticks away from you, you know the feeling. When it ticks in your favor, you know the feeling if you have ever placed a trade. So each tick in the market is a test of your inner peace, of your calmness, of your emotional maturity. But the trader who learns to care for their own emotions becomes unshakable and no longer being controlled by fear, by greed, by frustration, by all the negative emotions that we find coming up in trading, but they are guided by discipline, by compassion, by wisdom, by courage, and by a proven system. All right. So you can't control the market, but you can control yourself. You can control the process that you bring into the moment of trading or of performance, but you cannot control whether you win or you lose. You cannot control where the market goes to next. So you're going to be your own caregiver in the moment of stress. Cultivate that compassion, that patience, and that perspective. And trading is going to be a more smoother journey than what it is if you are still facing a lot of difficulties in trading. So, my friends, the self-soothing trader isn't just moved by market noise. They are moved by inner peace. They move with inner peace. Sorry. So a self-soothing trader isn't moved by market noise, but they move with inner peace and with inner calmness. So in the market or in trading, you don't control the noise, but you control how you respond to the noise. Just like a sofa, you cannot control the wave. The surfer does not control the wave, but they control how they glide, how they flow with the wave instead of fighting against the wave. So, my friends, your ability to develop a caregiver's uh, self-soothing nature is one of the most important skill or one of the most important attribute that will separate you from the rest of the traders that we have out there. So my friends, if you have watched us to the end of this video, then I think, or this lecture, then I think you have really understood, you have really enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed it, make sure to share it, make sure to like, make sure to comment so that a lot of people can benefit from this. By you liking, by you commenting, you are telling YouTube or giving YouTube the go ahead that recommend this stuff to other people because this looks like good stuff. So if you have any questions or any reflections, all right, you can always reach out to me in the comment section. You can ask your questions in the comment section, and if you have anything to reflect on, you could post it in the comment section as well. If you want to reach out to me personally, then you can reach out or through the number that is in the description. There is also a number on the screen. You can reach out to those numbers, and we are going to be helping you. So reach out to me. The number is in the description box, and it is also found in the pin comment. Also, if you're not a member of our Telegram community, where we come together as traders to help each other grow with our quotes on mindset, psychology, and emotional regulation, our technical methodology, and our signals that we give free of charge in the Telegram channel. So you can join the Telegram channel. It is EasyForex 007, and everything there is free. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification button so that anytime that we post or a new content, you'll be one of the first people to receive those contents. So with that said, God bless you all. Have a great rest of your time. May the universe continue to bless, guide, protect, and provide for you each and every step of the way. Bye bye, and have a great rest of your time.